Hi, it's Randall Carter with Carter Hill Honeybees in Northwest Alabama. Today is February the 6th, 2022. And I got the camera positioned here at the entrance of this colony here. You'll see some bees with pollen coming in. This is the first day I've really seen a significant amount of what I believe to be hazel alder pollen. There's also some yellowish looking pollen, but definitely this is the first day I've seen a lot of pollen coming in consistently. This is one of the first cues from nature I look for in late winter or midwinter. When I see this pretty much tells me that brood rearing is about to start or has started. Now, we had a warm November and December, very warm, and then after New Year's Day it turned really cold and has been fairly cold since then. And during that period of December, I was concerned about the bees going ahead and breeding up, and I'm sure they probably did. I haven't done any inspections to verify one way or the other. My guess is they've probably shut down. There comes some pretty pollen in there. And when you see big balls of pollen like that, that's usually a good sign that everything is really good on the inside. I typically won't do an inspection for a little bit longer, but just seeing that right there tells me everything is good inside. You see the one resting right there on the landing board. We had a low of about 22 degrees Fahrenheit last night, and it's warmed up. We're in the upper 40s. Now, you hear a lot of bee flight, and this is at my house, and the bees are going to the community feeder a lot. They haven't been able to fly for 2 or 3 days. Also, I'm sure there's some cleansing flight business going on as well. This is the first day that I've seen a significant pollen coming in. I try to play a little guessing game every spring. I've been doing this a few years, and this works out fairly good for me. So what I do is, today's April the 6th, so I count down ahead the calendar about 60 days. That comes to, I think, April the 7th, and then I create kind of a window there. I'll go back 5 days to April the 2nd, then I go ahead 5 days to April 11th. That's a 10-day window, and that usually in that window in my area we'll see the first natural swarm. And what I mean by natural is one that's not stimulated by somebody overfeeding like myself. I've been guilty of that in the past, feeding too much syrup and plugging them out. But what I'm referring to is colonies that basically has not had any maintenance or managed good enough to where they're not plugged out, you know, maybe out of a hollow tree or whatever. And that gives me a pretty good idea of when to start looking for swarms. So a month or so back, I thought we'd see swarms in mid-March, and we may still do it, but I'm feeling, after seeing this today, and I've been looking closely for a couple of weeks, and I've been seeing a little bit of pollen, but nothing like today. So this makes me more confident that we're probably going to be into the first week of April before we see any swarms here in Northwest Alabama. Another interesting note about this colony has been featured in a few of my videos. Last year at this time, it was configured with a medium on the bottom board, I believe. And I remember for a fact there was 2 mediums on top, and it overwintered with drones last year. It had a tremendous population. Back in the spring of 2021, I boosted 7 colonies and then took a split off of it in late July. Actually took 2 splits out of the brood box there. They went ahead and filled back up. When I looked in there in November, there was probably 2 pounds of bees in there, not near as many, not even half as many as last year. Queen looked really good. She was big, thick, beautiful queen. So it was almost on the verge of being honey bound. The bees was situated in this part of the box. This is the southeast side of the box, so I'm sure the brood nest will be established in this area right here. And I may wind up having to pull some frames of honey out of it in a few weeks, but I'm not going to do that yet. I'll just see how it goes. In terms of Varroa management, kind of the way I got delayed and stuff, I wound up only doing, and I kind of wanted to see what would happen since I was delayed. But I did this whole line here. I did one oxalic acid vaporization treatment in December, and that was not by design. It was just so warm it was hard to catch them in, and I finally caught one day where the temperature range was right. And look, when I checked my board underneath, it looked like I didn't count them all, but it looked like it was 70 to 100 mites was dropped. And this colony seems to be one of the ones that high mite count don't seem to affect too much. I don't know if they have immunity to the viruses or what. So right now it looks good, and I'll do an inspection on it in a few weeks, probably a couple weeks. But they're bringing in good big balls of pollen, and I feel like it's in pretty good shape. Another interesting note is, if you'll notice the black tape I have over the auger hole right there, I've never seen a colony do this, but they've actually gnawed through that that's gorilla tape. They've actually gnawed through that to open that entrance back up right there. But I just want to take a couple minutes and share that with you. So, and we'll see how it goes. So I'm gonna make a prediction here in February the 6th, 2022, that in my area, I think we'll see our first natural swarms between April the 2nd and April the 11th of 2022. So we'll see how that goes, and I'll update when that time comes. Well, I want to thank you for joining me for this video today. We'll catch you on the next one.